Hey guys, it's Carolyn. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on paper flowers that I make, and I've seen this technique on YouTube from a couple different people, and it's a great idea because I don't buy a lot of flowers, so it's nice to make them. And this is what it looks like, and this one is glimmer misted, and I did some inking in the middle for the green, but it's just real simple. To me it looks like a magnolia when I do it in white, and I use white copy paper. So I use the Tattered Floral Die from Tim Holtz, and I cut out 2 sets of each of the flowers. So it's 8 flowers total. But I just use plain white copy paper, but I've done it with scrapbook paper, I've done it with paper that I printed images on, so it always comes out cute. I'm going to do it tonight on just white and show you how it's done. Another thing that I have done is inked up the paper before I do the technique, and I've used the tea dye a lot, which gives it like a little peach tone to it, real pretty. So that works nice, but you can use any color you want. You can use different colors, mix and match. I've done different petals and different patterns and colors. So basically you're going to take your 8 shapes and you're going to wet them. And I just take just a spray bottle, and you don't have to soak them, just enough to get them damp. And then what you want to do is arrange them one on top of the other, going from biggest to smallest, and you want to kind of overlap your seams so that your petals are not in the same direction as each other. So you want to get them as centered as you can, and just start stacking. And then you want to take either your hole punch or your crocodile or whatever to get a hole in the middle of all your flowers. And then I just take a small 1/4 inch, whatever this is, 1/8 inch eyelet to hold everything together. And I use my crocodile to smush it. And there you go. So you smush the flowers, but it's no big deal because the next step is to take all of your petals layer by layer, and you're going to start folding them toward the center. But you want to be careful because it's wet and this paper's pretty thin, so it can tear, which isn't a big deal because you could always glue it back into place. But you want to take each layer by itself and scrunch it into the middle. And this takes only a couple minutes. This layer is the hardest because the petals are so skinny. So this, if anything tears, it tends to be this one. So you want to be careful. Now these big ones you just want to scrunch as much as you can and then do the last one. So now you have a big old mess. That's what it looks like. Then I put it down and I try and flatten it and kind of fluff it at the same time. You want to get your petals to come back out. Again, be careful because you don't want to rip. But, you know, now it looks like a big soggy mess. Okay, so now what you do is you take your heat tool and you want to dry it and you're going to fluff it at the same time. Okay, that's all it takes. It's dry. So, and then you can play around with it, but it's basically your shape. Then I like to take some Glimmer Mist. I like using this Old Lace color. And I usually do this in a box, but just do it real quick for you. That gives it some shimmer, a little bit of color, and you can use your colored Glimmer Mist too. And I hit it again. With the heat tool, and that's it. And another thing that I like to do that I showed you on this one is to put a little bit of green in the center. I think it gives it some depth. So I take my peeled paint distress ink and I use one of my water brushes and I just dip it in there and just lightly go in there. Doesn't have to be real neat. It just gives it a little bit of depth in the middle. So those are 2 quick flowers that I did tonight, and they look nice on a project. I'll just grab a book here, and they look real nice on any project you have. So I hope that helped, and happy flower making. Enjoy!